It's time for Caribbean News, covering current events from around the world, regionally and locally, with Sean Garrity on this station. It's news the Caribbean can use. And now, the details. Bahamas to enable payment of taxes by digital assets. The Bahamas government is this year slated to enable its citizens access to digital assets using Bahamian dollars and enable the payment of taxes using digital assets. In tabling a policy white paper on the future of US $3 trillion of global market digital assets in the Bahamas, Prime Minister Philip Davis has promised to transform the Bahamas into the leading digital asset hub in the Caribbean. The 9-point policy objectives in the white paper include exploring new opportunities in decentralized finance, or DeFi, non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, stable coins and asset reference tokens, improving the Bahamas' attractiveness as well as regulated jurisdiction for digital assets management, and expanding the current legislative framework. Police probing ATM explosion in eastern Jamaica. From Kingston, Jamaica, an explosion at an automated teller machine, or ATM, in the town of Port Antonio in the eastern parish of Portland on Saturday is now the subject of a criminal probe. The police report that early Saturday, shortly before 4 o'clock local time in the parish capital of Port Antonio, an explosion damaged the ATM and the entrance to the banking hall located on Harbor Street in the parish. A man who was injured in the explosion was hospitalized after he was found with cuts, burns, a broken leg, and other injuries in an incinerator at the rear of the bank. According to the senior deputy superintendent at the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Emilio Ebanks, when his colleagues arrived at the location, fire was seen coming from the building. We got into operation, and after about 5 minutes, the fire was brought under control and later extinguished. He said the damage was restricted to the ATMs, the machine room, a bathroom, 2 offices, some office equipment, and the AC units. Meanwhile, the commanding officer for the Portland Police Division, Superintendent Kenneth Chin, said the probe is being conducted by several entities. The cause of the explosion is not yet ascertained. However, criminal activity is suspected and we are following strong leads and will make a breakthrough in short order, he said. The initial estimated loss is in excess of Jamaican $12 million.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Funtastic DJs. For all your entertainment needs, it's funtasticdjs.com.
In entertainment, Spice says her Sumfest fee should be doubled. Reggae Sumfest is back, and the Grammy-nominated Queen of Dancehall, Spice, says the organizers, Downsound Entertainment, DSC, ought to double her performance fee, which was agreed upon for the 2020 staging, which was cancelled due to the pandemic. The Godonde singer was speaking during a recent Instagram Live, where she asserted that her price has indeed gone up, and recounted her negotiations with DSC CEO Joe Bogdanovich. Spice, whose given name was Grace Hamilton, was slated to be officially crowned Queen of Dancehall in 2020 at Sumfest. She had performed more than 10 times at the show and has arguably been the top female dancehall entertainer for most of her 2 decades in the business. Her debut album 10 was nominated for Best Reggae Album at the 64th Grammy Awards. A sharp drop in graphic chip prices could presage an unexpectedly quick ending to a global chip crunch that has crippled manufacturing, and the issue will be central for companies reporting results this week. Julian Sadowit reports for Reuters.
The global chip shortage just might come to an unexpectedly sudden end. That as a variety of factors threaten to crimp demand. Rising inflation may cut consumer spending, while lockdowns in China and conflict in Ukraine are also factors watched by analysts. Now, industry experts say there are signs that prices for key chips are already falling, and that could come as relief to car makers and other manufacturers, which have been battered by a shortage of silicon. One site that tracks graphic chip prices in Europe says they're now selling for 20% above suggested retail prices, down from an 80% premium earlier. Softer demand for PCs and smartphones is cutting prices for other types of chips too. That is according to industry experts at Summit Insights Group. Later in the week there may be some more clues, with earnings due from big chip makers including Intel and Qualcomm. Such firms are spending billions on new semiconductor factories, raising the possibility that the market could swing from drought to glut. Car makers, for one, won't mind that at all.
Join us for exclusive pen relays coverage brought to you in part by Mars Auto Performance. Got car trouble? Call Mars at 954-572-8585. That's 954-572-8585. In sports, Mumbai batsmen have to step up, says Captain Rohit. Mumbai Indians captain Rohit Sharma called on his team's batsmen to step up their game after Sunday's 36-run defeat by the Lucknow Super Giants stretched their winless run in the Indian Premier League to 8 matches. Mumbai, who have won the lucrative 2020 tournament a record 5 times, are rooted to the bottom and serious danger of missing the playoffs. Lucknow captain KL Rahul smashed an impressive 103 not out of 63 balls as his side set a target of 169 at the Wakinidi Stadium. Mumbai's response was poor, with 5 players dismissed for single-digit scores, while Rohit scored an underwhelming 39 and the big-hitting Kieran Pollard could only make 19. In your Palm Beach weather, 82 degrees with sunny skies, winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then at night, mostly clear with a low of 69 degrees, winds south-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And a little down south in Fort Lauderdale, a few clouds from time to time with a high of 82, winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then at night, it's partly cloudy with a low of 71 degrees, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And that was the news, entertainment, and sports with Sean Garrity. Be sure to stay tuned to this station for more news from around the world, locally, and the Caribbean.